La manera como los negocios y las personas se conectan, colaboran y crean juntos nuevos productos o proyectos está en constante transformación, por lo que innovar a través de la data y la tecnología se vuelve sumamente necesario. Microsoft conoce muy bien las reglas de este nuevo juego. Esto es Norte Digital, la primera serie de entrevistas en México producida por Grupo Financiero Banorte, que marca el rumbo de la transformación digital.
Thank you for hosting us. We're here in Microsoft offices in New York City. I brought you a coffee.
Thank you very much, my friend.
The coffee that you drink,
Thank
I
you.
know that it has
It's
like
very
7
complicated.
shots.
Yes, it's very
So I
complicated.
don't know how you sleep with that, but
Yeah.
but anyway,
Well,
thank you for hosting.
Thank you.
I think the only certain thing now is that we are living an uncertainty, a tremendous uncertainty.
Yep.
How you personally and how Microsoft is living this uncertainty and facing things that we as business leaders are struggling with everything. You know, we don't know exactly how to face it.
Yeah.
How you are dealing with it.
Look, if the pandemic taught us anything, it's that no business is 100% resilient. But businesses that are fortified with some level of digital capability are more resilient than those that are not. And so it speaks to this notion that the only pathway through uncertainty is continued and accelerated innovation, right? And so you have to think about how to innovate to come out of these uncertain times versus somehow, overly negatively prepare to somehow, endure, right? And so I like to think of this as digital perseverance rather than somehow just resiliency, because resiliency by definition is effectively what you do when bad things happen to you. It's how you respond. Perseverance is frankly, a more forward-looking notion. How do you prepare to get through things? And so look, customers are, trying to navigate uncertain times and figure out how to make sure that they're still engaging well with their customers, building better products, enduring supply chain concerns, and technology plays a role. And, of course, companies like Microsoft and Banorte are here to help our customers endure uncertain times through the support that we can provide together to them.
What do you see about the hybrid work and these challenges that we're facing?
For sure. And when it comes to hybrid work, look, people simultaneously want the flexibility, yet the same opportunity to collaborate and learn from one another and build on new ideas, create new products, or create new businesses. And that does take that rich form of human engagement. So the way we go about it at Microsoft, and frankly, the way we help coach our customers through it, is to have a real data-driven posture in this regard. If you think about it, when you're interacting in these, virtual environments, whether it be Teams or, competing solutions like Zoom, there's a lot of rich data that exists underneath the Teams environment. But by having a data-driven posture with Microsoft Teams and our Viva experience technologies, we can actually drive the predictability around what creates the balance between productivity and employee well-being.
The things that are challenging us most is the sustainability, the ESG concept. No, so it's the customer asking for it, the investors asking for it.
Yep.
The population in general, the public asking for it.
Yep.
How you see this happening in the rest of the world?
In Mexico, it's critically important because with all of the uncertainty in the global economic environment, Mexico is going to be a beneficiary. As you and I have discussed in our previous meetings, global multinational companies are looking to invest in Mexico. Mexico is a growth sector for Microsoft. We see
this nearshoring.
Yes. We see more growth in Mexico than we do in other countries right now, and so we'll be investing as well. But very specifically to sustainability, we see this convergence between some of the supply chain challenges that exist in the world and driving real sustainable outcomes. And we approach solving the problem through digital technologies, very specifically digital twins and what we're now calling the industrial metaverse, which is the notion of combining IoT capabilities with large data lakes in the cloud and machine learning capabilities and visualization technologies like digital twins and mixed reality that help you to model any type of manufacturing scenario or logistics scenario. Effectively, you can think of it like this. If you make anything or you move anything, you create a carbon footprint.
Of course.
If we can simulate that infinitely in the cloud before you make it or before you move it, we can help you build a better product, a better process, more effectively, more efficiently, with less waste, lower carbon footprint, lower water utilization, more sustainably. And so we're working with customers across Mexico to, and frankly around the world, but again, this manufacturing base that we see, being bolstered in Mexico, super important to digitize the world's manufacturing and logistics environment so that we can produce these sustainable outcomes. Now, what's the Banorte's role in all of this? Being able to then provide that transparency all the way down to the consumer.
Of course.
How the product is built through to how it's delivered, because we have all of the data that can speak to this with confidence. We can provide consumers with an understanding that their own daily behaviors are creating to sort of the better good of society.
You talk with leaders in all the world. What are their main concerns?
They're also very, very concerned about cyber these days. Unfortunately, the one thing that has not slowed down in our climate is the rise of bad actors. And so thinking about this as a way to, again, persevere through uncertainty requires us to be innovating better cyber solutions so that customers' interests are protected. This is another area of great collaboration between our two companies because we have to protect the financial interests of all Banorte customers. Mm-hmm. So that speaks to protecting the endpoint of the transaction, whether that be a mobile device, an ATM, or any other form of commerce, through to their identity protection, any kind of incident or event management that happens. But it is a rich body of work for us right now. And I would say it's also exacerbated by the real pressure that exists in the economy today of trying to figure out how to do this with less. In other words, somehow spend less and do.
Did you always know that you wanted to work in the technology industry?
Probably not always. I think when I was a little kid, I wanted to be either an astronaut or a fireman. But, those things didn't work out. But I think it was maybe through my dad repeatedly asking me to reset the clock on the VCR that, for folks who even remember what a VCR is, listening to us. But it sort of felt my role in life was to somehow help people with technology problems. So, yes, there was some early inspiration.
And talking about technology, who did you admire?
This will probably sound weird to you because at some level, this sort of produces competing technologies. But I think it's also very important to admire competitors because you can learn from them. And you always have to keep learning if you want to get better yourself. But I admired Steve Jobs a lot because I think he had a vision for what he wanted to create and how technology could be simple.
And the perseverance that you talked before.
Yes.
The perseverance was key of his development.
Yeah.
Your favorite Microsoft product?
Wow, that's hard. I use my Surface every day, so that's from my personal, the thing I can touch the most is the Surface product. But honestly, the digital twin work that I described earlier, where I really feel like technology is being put to work to solve sustainability challenges, that actually has a chance of helping us save the planet. So it's where my heart lies. I would say our Microsoft digital twins would be my favorite.
What's the most astonishing innovation that you remember as a kid?
As a kid? I think the first time a PC arrived in our house was a big unlock for me. I grew up in a very small town in Ohio, and we were not terribly well off, and never had exposure to real technology. And so the first time I set my hands on a keyboard and saw that little blinking cursor, and there was like some face communicating with me on the other end, that was cool.
Yeah. If you were Superman, what would be your kryptonite?
Probably peanut butter cookies. I cannot resist a peanut butter cookie, and I can't run fast enough anymore or far enough anymore to burn them off. So that would probably be my kryptonite.
Perfect. Beer or wine?
It depends on the event. If we're at a sporting event, definitely beer. If we're having a nice dinner, wine. So that one's...
And the last book you read, or the book that you can recommend?
Oh my gosh, I'm terrible at this because I really don't read for pleasure. So it would probably be something like How to Become an Instrument-Rated Pilot. Because I'm into aviation as a hobby, but mostly I pour through technical manuals to learn things, and not really read for pleasure. So I have a very, very boring answer for you. Sorry.
Thank you. No. And finally, Judson, thank you. But if you want to do a question to our next guest, what will be that question?
Yeah, I think, Paco, would probably be at the root of our conversation today, which is, how are you thinking about putting technology to work for your business outcomes, and very specifically on this notion of going from resiliency to perseverance? How do you think about making technology serve those outcomes?
Perfect.
Okay.
Very interesting.
Awesome.
Thank you very much. Thanks for hosting us, and thanks for all your time.
Paco, thank you very much. It was a great pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Judson.